If you've ever felt that frustrating gap between the thoughts in your head and the words coming out of your mouth, this is for you. If you hate sounding stuck, hesitant, or unsure, but you love the idea of speaking with a natural, confident flow, then you're in exactly the right place. Welcome to your comprehensive guide to unlocking true speaking fluency. Over the next 10 minutes, we're going to transform the way you approach speaking. There's no magic wand here, no secret trick that will fix everything overnight. What we have is something far more powerful. Simple, proven practices that absolutely work when you apply them consistently. We'll break down what fluency really is, tackle the mental and physical foundations of clear speech, and give you a toolkit of drills you can use every single day. Ready to start sounding as confident as you feel? Let's go. First, let's redefine fluency. It's a common misconception that fluency simply means talking fast. It doesn't. True fluency is about the smooth, effortless flow of ideas. It's about conveying your message with clarity and confidence, where your words move at the speed of your thoughts, not just at the speed of sound. It's the difference between a choppy stream struggling over rocks and a powerful river flowing steadily to its destination. Our goal is to become that river. This journey begins not with your mouth, but with your body and your mind. Your posture and breath are the bedrock of powerful speech. Sit or stand tall, with your shoulders back and your chest open. This isn't just about looking confident, it physically opens up your diaphragm, giving your voice more power and resonance. Before you speak, take a moment to ground yourself with a deep diaphragmatic breath. Inhale through your nose, letting your belly expand, and exhale slowly through your mouth. This simple action calms your nervous system, reduces anxiety, and provides the air support you need to project your voice without straining. A rushed, shallow breath leads to a rushed, weak voice. A calm, deep breath supports a calm, strong voice. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest perceived enemies of fluency: filler words. We've all been told to eliminate ums, ahs, and likes. While excessive unconscious fillers can indeed clutter your speech, the real enemy isn't the filler itself. It's the dead silent pause that makes you and your listener feel awkward. When you stumble or need a moment to gather your thoughts, your brain goes into a mini panic. An untrained speaker fills that panic with a hesitant, A completely silent speaker creates a void, but a trained, fluent speaker uses that moment strategically. The secret is to replace unintentional, distracting fillers with intentional bridging phrases. Instead of a long, drawn-out, "oh," you can use a short, purposeful filler that signals you're still in control. Phrases like, "let me think for a moment," "that's an interesting point," "1 second," or even a simple, "so," can work wonders. These phrases buy you precious seconds to organize your next thought while assuring your listener that you are still actively engaged in the conversation. They turn a moment of hesitation into a moment of thoughtful consideration. Practice this. The next time you feel an coming, consciously replace it with, "let me see." It will feel unnatural at first, but it's a powerful habit that transforms your speech from hesitant to deliberate. And then, once you have your thought, keep going. Don't apologize, just continue with confidence. Next up is the delicate dance between speed and clarity. Many of us, especially when nervous or excited, tend to speed up. But as we've established, speed is not the goal. The goal is clear communication. Your ideal pace is the fastest you can speak while ensuring every single word remains crisp and understandable. Think of it like driving a car. On a straight, empty highway, you can go faster. On a winding road with lots of turns, you must slow down to navigate safely. The same principle applies to your speech. When you encounter complex phrases, multi-syllable words, or important key points, you must consciously slow down. Give those words the space they need to land with your audience. For example, a phrase like interdepartmental collaboration requires more deliberate articulation than "let's work together." Rushing through it will only result in a mumbled mess. Let's try a quick demo. I'll read a sentence at a normal pace. The committee's primary objective is to analyze the statistical data and formulate a comprehensive strategy. Now, I'll try it 10% faster, focusing on keeping the pronunciation crisp. The committee's primary objective is to analyze the statistical data and formulate a comprehensive strategy. Notice how the clarity can be maintained but push it any further, and the words start to blend together. Your job is to find that upper limit where your clarity is never compromised. To help manage your pace and make your ideas easier to follow, we use a technique called chunking. Instead of seeing a sentence as a long string of individual words, you group them into meaningful thought chunks. You naturally pause briefly between these chunks. For example, Take the sentence, "We need to finish the report by Friday so we can present the findings to the board on Monday." Instead of a breathless rush, you chunk it. "We need to finish the report by Friday so we can present the findings to the board on Monday." This not only helps your breathing and pacing but also makes the information much more digestible for your listener. To link these chunks together smoothly, use connector words. These are the signposts of your speech. Words like first, next, and finally guide your listener through a sequence. However, on the other hand, and in contrast, signal a shift in thought. Therefore, as a result, and consequently, show cause and effect. Using these words intentionally adds logical structure and flow to your speaking, making you sound organized and easy to follow. Now, for the physical workout. Just like an athlete warms up their muscles, a fluent speaker needs to warm up their articulators, the lips, teeth, and tongue. This is where articulation drills come in. They might feel silly, but they are incredibly effective at waking up your mouth and promoting crisp, clear pronunciation. Let's start with some classic tongue twisters. The goal isn't just speed, it's precision. Say them slowly at first, exaggerating the mouth movements, then gradually speed up. Let's do a 30-second set. Ready? Go. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Focus on that R and L sound. Now let's try another for consonant clusters. She sells seashells by the seashore. Ready? Go. Feel how your tongue has to dance from the S to the esh sounds. Finally, let's work on vowels. Exaggerate the shapes of your mouth. How now, brown cow? Ready? Go. These simple exercises, done for just a couple of minutes a day, will dramatically improve your diction and prevent you from stumbling over words. Our next technique is one of the most powerful for developing a natural rhythm and intonation: shadowing. Shadowing is simple. You listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say in real time, like an echo. You're not just copying the words, you're trying to match their pitch, their rhythm, and their emotional tone. It's like learning a song by singing along. Find a short audio clip of a speaker you admire. It could be from a TED Talk, a podcast, or an audiobook. First, just listen. Then, play it again and try to speak along with them, staying just a second or two behind. Don't worry about getting every word perfect. The goal is to capture the melody of the language. Is their voice rising at the end of a question? Are they stressing certain words for emphasis? Mimic that. Doing this for just 2 minutes a day trains your brain to recognize and reproduce the natural patterns of fluent speech, making your own speaking sound less robotic and more musical. We've talked about avoiding awkward silent pauses, but now let's embrace the power of the purposeful pause. Pauses are not signs of weakness, they are tools of emphasis and control. They give your listener a moment to digest what you've just said, and they allow you to build anticipation for what's coming next. The easiest way to practice this is to honor the punctuation in a written text. When you see a comma, take a short 1-beat pause. When you see a period, take a longer 2-beat pause. Let's demonstrate. Without pauses, the project was a success. It came in under budget and ahead of schedule. It feels rushed. Now, with purposeful pauses, the project was a success. Beat. It came in under budget, beat, and ahead of schedule. See the difference? The pauses add weight, clarity, and a sense of command. Practice reading any text aloud for 1 minute, focusing only on pausing at commas and periods. This will build the habit of using silence as a powerful rhetorical device. It's time to put it all together. Here is a series of practical timed exercises you can do daily. First, the 1-minute read. Grab any paragraph of text and read it aloud at your normal, comfortable pace for 60 seconds. Focus on clear articulation. Next, the 1-minute speed challenge. Read the same paragraph again, but this time aim for that 10% faster pace while maintaining perfect clarity. Notice where you start to stumble or drop words. Those are your areas for improvement. Then, the 1-minute paraphrase. Put the text away. Look at a few bullet points you've jotted down on a topic and speak about it for 1 minute. This bridges the gap between reading and spontaneous speaking, forcing you to use chunking and connectors. Finally, the 1-minute story. Tell a simple story about your day for 60 seconds, using time markers like, first I woke up, then for lunch, and, finally, this evening. This drill practices narrative flow and sequencing. This entire routine takes less than 5 minutes but covers every core skill we've discussed. As you practice, watch out for a few common mistakes. First, dropping the endings of words, especially es and ed sounds. The fix? Slow down and over-enunciate the last letter of every word during practice. Second, rushing through the beginning of sentences. The fix? Take a deliberate breath before you start speaking. Third, lapsing into dead air when you lose your train of thought. The fix? Have your strategic filler phrase, like, "let me think," ready to deploy. Acknowledging these habits is the first step to fixing them. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground. Let's do a quick recap. True fluency is the seamless flow of ideas, combining both clarity and confidence. It's built on a foundation of good posture and deep breathing. We learn to replace awkward silences and ums with strategic short fillers like one moment to maintain control. We practice balancing tempo and clarity, slowing down for complex phrases to ensure every word is heard. And we've armed you with a powerful daily workout. Here is your action plan, your commitment to fluency. Just 5 minutes a day, that's it. Spend 2 minutes shadowing a native speaker to absorb their rhythm and intonation. Spend another 2 minutes running through articulation drills and tongue twisters to wake up your mouth. And spend one final minute practicing purposeful pauses by reading a text aloud. 5 minutes. That's less time than it takes to brew a pot of coffee. But that small, consistent investment will yield massive returns in your speaking ability. You now have the knowledge and the tools. The only thing left is to apply them. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today. Try these exercises right now and begin the journey to owning your voice, your ideas, and your next conversation. You can do this.